We've come to Jerusalem in our Life of Christ in the Land of the Book series to look at what Jesus did. And what he did centers around many prophecies that were fulfilled. In one of our videos, we'll see Jesus at Galakantu, as through the evening scene with Peter, Jesus shows he's in command of every situation. While he is being beaten and mocked and blindfolded, his eyes are on Peter. And we'll see the lessons that for us as believers are so impactful. Then we're going to look down at the Via Dolorosa from the top of the Austrian hospice and see Christ coming for suffering in our place. The way of suffering, as Via Dolorosa is called, is such a picture of Isaiah 53. And then, as we stand on the southern steps, we'll see Jesus as he's being brought up the temple steps for his dedication in the temple at 40 days old, as he's met by Simeon and Anna, and as they fulfill the prophecy that was made to them that they would not see death until they saw the Lord's Christ. And then we see in the city of David that Jesus is the one who offers endless life. Just as Melchizedek, without father and mother and beginning of days or end of life, lived as a picture of Christ, so Jesus came to give us endless life. And then, as we look over the city, as Abraham did from the Haas Promenade, we will remember that moment when Abraham brought his son, his beloved son, to offer him in obedience to God. What's amazing about Genesis 22 in that account is, it's the first time in the scripture the word love is used. A father loved his son and was willing to offer him as a sacrifice for God's commandment to be fulfilled. That's exactly what John 3:16 says, that God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. So Abraham was portraying that future sacrifice of Christ, and we'll study that from that vantage point. And then, as we look into the very cavernous depths, the quarry beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, we'll see the stones that are cracked, and remember the quarry of the rejected stone, and how Peter, right here in Jerusalem, alludes to Jesus being the rejected stone. And probably Christ was crucified very near that execution spot by that quarry. And then, as we move on to Herod's Palace, which is today called the Tower of David, but it was the fortress of Pilate and also the palace of Herod where the wise men came, but also where after Jesus was taken on that night from Gethsemane, he was brought early in the morning to see Pilate. And that was in Pilate's official residence. So we will see that, even the rock-hewn steps that were built by Herod and all of the amazing elements of that night of Christ's life. And then we move on out into the desert, because what Jesus did is he opened to us the life-giving waters. And at En-Gedi, we will look at the streams of water coming out of the rock and think about the fact that Jesus makes En-Gedi possible to us anywhere in the world. We don't have to go to an oasis. Jesus within us becomes an oasis, a spring of life-giving water. And we will remember that we go into a parched world with the water of life freely flowing through Christ into others. And then, as we stand in the Israel Museum, we will see the very archaeological evidences. Number one, of crucifixion, the only archaeological evidence of crucifixion. An actual 18-year-old that was crucified, the nail going through his heel bone and bending so that it couldn't be pulled out. And that, with Caiaphas' ossuary and all of the parts of Herod's life, show us that this is the book you can trust. And we've come to see the life of Christ in the land of the book, to know that this book can be trusted, that everything it says is true, that everything that's recorded geographically, historically, archaeologically has been verified. But more than that, we know that's true because the one who came to Jerusalem is the one who died in our place. That's what Jesus came to do. And that's what we study here in Jerusalem in this survey of the life of Christ in the land of the book.